Easy? Is that
the wrong word?
Not easy because they had Kubasi sent off early in the first half in Lisbon, so that made it tricky. They showed a different side to the game that day. They were able to grit that one out and get a 1-0 win. I think it was Raphinha again. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So many games. So that was a different side to the game when they had a bit of adversity. But I think we always felt to a man that Benfica were going to be a good fit for Barca because they try and play. They do try and play, and that's why we saw that crazy game 5-4 in the group stages. And when you try and play against this Barca side and you open up, and that's what Benfica do, they commit men forward and they go for it. And when they lost it, they were so open that these players for Barcelona could tear them apart. So we've seen Barca struggle in La Liga when teams park the bus, right, for want of a better terminology, and get men behind the ball. And for Real Madrid as well, it can be frustrating. When teams play an open game, I think it just sits absolutely beautifully for this Barcelona side. And the two players in particular that flank Lewandowski this year have just been absolutely brilliant. And there's no surprise that he's flourishing because of that. But the fact that Raphinha, but for the finances, would probably not even be at Barcelona at the moment just tells you that when you're a player, even when there's talk about another player coming in, you just get the head down and you just keep going, you keep plugging away. He has done that and he's getting his just rewards.
Jurgen, Lamine Yamal grabbing all the headlines, of course, once again. How high is this teenager's ceiling?
Yeah, there seems no limit to his ceiling. What he's capable to do is just very, very special. You know? I mean, obviously, watching him, you kind of anticipate what he will do, but when he does it then and executes it then you're just in awe. I mean, this goal that he scores there, everybody knows he will put it to his left, and he will try to kind of go for the second post, and still he does it, and he hits it, and it's goal. I mean, he is just incredible. I mean, these two players, Lamine Yamal and Raphinha, this year, it's just a joy to watch. And it gives them then so much confidence. And now when you go in the later stage of a Champions League and also obviously of the domestic competitions, it's all about confidence. It's about, you believe in yourself, you have a good spirit within your team, everybody's on the same page. And that's what you can see with teams like Barcelona or Bayern Munich or Paris Saint-Germain in these months now, in these weeks. They're full of confidence. They go in there and you have the feeling that they know nothing will happen. We're going to go through. We're going to get the job done. Yes, it will be difficult. They respect their opponents. But with the game that they showed today with Benfica, and Benfica is obviously a very, very good team, but you never had the feeling that Benfica anywhere is getting close to them and challenges them. And if so, then, Lamine Yamal or Raphinha or even Lewandowski, they pull one out and they put them back into place. So it's very impressive. And a player like Lamine Yamal to watch for all of us, soccer fans, it's just a joy.
As a coach, how much you get involved? How much does Hansi Flick talk to him? How much does it just go out there?
Most of it is go out there because obviously a creative player like him, he's still a kid. You want to have him enjoy himself, do his duties. I mean, you teach him, how to defend how to draw back behind the ball when you lose the ball. And I mean, obviously he will make mistakes. He does make mistakes, but if he kind of understands the principles that when he has to work against the ball as well, then you got to give him all the freedom in the world to go forward and take people on and go for his final shots or lay them off like he did with Raphinha or lay it off to Lewandowski, whoever comes up front with. You give him that freedom and you talk to him once in a while. You make him feel good. You make him feel confident. But there's no need for Hansi Flick right now to talk too much to him. Just you observe him, you see his behavior, you see his attitude overall in training. If that attitude is all spot on, which I guess it is, then you better leave him alone and let him do his thing.
Don't cloud his brain, do you?
Yeah.
Just it's simple,
exactly.
isn't it? don't cloud his brains. And
That's why Stevie was so good.
Yeah.
the interesting thing is that
Bit like a horse. The dumber you are, the better.
What is it really? I never
It
knew
really
that
is,
theory
yeah.
about horses.
The dumber the horse, the better.
What do you get to do a maths test?
All right. Put blinders on them, then.
What you soccer we doing here, pal?
hey, I'm thinking about putting a bet on today. Who's the dumbest horse? Not the quickest. The
I
dumbest.
want to see his IQ first.
Well, the thing is, what I was going to say with these two players, they're different, aren't they? So you get two wide players that are different. You
Yeah.
get one on one side that wants to take people on and is basically skinning defenders, and you got one on the other side who, you know, Raphinha, Lamine Yamal gets his goals as well. But you got one on the other side who's more interested in making these runs off Lewandowski. He's not so interested in beating 2 or 3 defenders and putting one in the far corner. His game's more of a sort of... He can do that, but it's more of a running game. It's more of, you know, coming inside and picking those holes or making finishes like this. So the balance that they have in this... They haven't got two players that are looking to beat defenders and whip balls in. They've got two guys that are quite different in the way they go about it, and I think that's a very good compliment to how they play with each other.
It can't have been easy for Raphinha, yeah? You've got a summer where everyone wants Williams, who's a Barcelona fan. He's come off, obviously, that fantastic performance from Spain. And yet you kind of turn up and, we've still got him. You read the media, you can't ignore it. But you go in and you put in your best season ever.
And it's not the first time that we see this sort of behavior at Barcelona in which they're looking for a player to make space for somebody else. So at some point it was Frankie de Jong, hey, you got to get out. You got to get out because somebody else coming. And it's sort of the way that the fans kind of have worked out in Barcelona, in which they're looking for players so that the next big thing comes through the door. And the next big thing was supposed to be Nicol Williams. Why did he become such a name? Because in the Euros, you were thinking, Lamine Yamal on one side, Nicol Williams on the other side. We can have those players at Barcelona, and Raphinha hasn't been all that great. To your point, and it's something that Craig was mentioning earlier, you have a choice to make when you're a player at that point. Do I push through this, and do I bet on myself? And more importantly, and I think this is the key for Raphinha, he reinvented his game. He went from being a guy who was on the right-hand side of the field, who usually is looking to get after defenders or look to combine, to go to the other side of the field and be more of a runner, be more of an underneath guy, be more of a guy who's now looking to combine with Lewandowski, or being the one guy who's going to close that second post to be able to tap in chances. That's reinventing your game so that you make yourself useful, indispensable. Because while we can have Lamine Yamal obviously down the right-hand side to do the job that he does, you need that balance to find something different down the left. And who benefits from all of this? Because we focus on Yamal, we focus on Raphinha. Here's Lewandowski going, you know what, guys? I'm just going to stay right here. So you do that over there, Lamine. You do that over there, Raphinha. I'm going to be here to tap in my chances. That's why Barcelona are so difficult to defend. You focus on one guy, this guy hurts you. You focus on that guy, this guy hurts you. They're all world-class players playing together at a very high level.
I'll tell you what as well, we should remember, like, if you talk about Bayern Munich and playmakers, you look at Musiala, you talk about some other teams, you look at the playmakers, fit again and healthy again and looking sharp again, is Pedri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He looks back to that player of 2 or 3 years ago when he didn't have that run of injuries and he was in and out and in and out. He just looks as if he's got his mojo back, getting on the ball, making things happen, playing little balls around the corner, and that helps, you know, because when you got others that can do the defensive side of it, you need somebody to just bridge that gap, and he's been brilliant.
Pedri's got a real problem. Who do I pick out? Do I give it to Lewandowski?
Oh.
Do I give it to Yamal?
How's his intelligence? What's his IQ like? That's what we need to know.
seriously.
Barcelona, of course,
What they say about horses, you know.
are favourites to win the Champions League, favourites to win La Liga as well. Big game for them this weekend on Sunday at the Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid against Barcelona.
You gonna be there, Dan?
I will be there.
Oh,
I'm very
look
much
at
looking
you.
forward to it live
bet you
on
are.
ESPN+.